Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Sulhi, Azman. Together, joining with me is the man we haven't seen for quite some time, Mr. Khoo Chuang, who's just coming back with us from a long holiday.
So I just mangle my name, Max. Go on, just mangle my name.
Khoo Chuang, at least you are not Bonnie Tyler. Well, anyway, it's our welcome to our Friday shows where we bring you wrap up of the market for this week. Just in case you didn't know, that behind us is a big picture of a lion which speaks 1,000 words. Anyway, let's do the market wrap up today, guys. The market wrap ended 6 points down to 1,667.87 points today, just slightly in the red before we end the week.
Yeah, no surprises. Yesterday, Mario Draghi disappointed markets. There's a big sell-off in the dollar, the euro, the bonds. Markets wanted more from him in terms of quantitative easing. They didn't get it, and that shock result sent markets tumbling all over the world, as well as in Malaysia. So we just followed suit, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this Super Mario, right? He actually vowed to print money as long as it takes to defeat deflation. They're continuing this QE for 60 billion euro for the next 6 months.
In a way, he did do it because he pledged to extend the bond buying program for another 6 more months, which in actual fact is 360 billion euros. But that's not enough. The markets wanted more. They wanted more icing on the cake. They wanted more pudding on the cake. And as a result, the markets just went tumbling.
No, I mean, at the same time, he also shocked the market and shocked the dollar and the euro, basically, when he actually introduced a negative deposit rates. I mean, it has been negative since July 2014, but pushing it to 0.3%. My God, that's
so. What this means is that if I'm a fund management company and I want to keep money with you, the bank, I have to pay you to hold my money for me. So in other words, what the regulators or what the central banks want basically is for you not to leave your money with the institutions. They want you to spend it and drive up prices and thereby reaching the inflation target. But it's just not happening, and I don't know how much lower it can go. How much more penal this is going to become.
Yeah, I mean, this to me, right, Chuang, it depends. It makes me think that where are we going to put the money if we're going to be in...
they want you to spend it, Max.
Yeah, if I want to keep the money, right, I mean, would I be keeping it under bed or...
Well, you might have to one day, because if you get sick of your buying iPads and laptops and smartphones and Volvo cars, then you might have to keep your cash under your mattress. But yeah.
You're right. Anyway, in a Media research today, right, a very quick note there, they said that ECB's recovery effort is establishing 2% inflation via the monetary stimulus could be heavily hindered by the aging population. So this ECB is really going to rile up the German government.
Yeah, just one more point of that, Max. With the European Central Bank actually, with their pursuing the policy of monetary easing, the other side of the pond with the Federal Reserve and Janet Yellen potentially tightening rates for the first time in 9 years in just a few days' time, we might have a monetary divergence with the Europeans easing and the Americans tightening. What that means for markets, no one really knows.
Okay, anyway, moving on to things that made us very sad and crappy this week is the fact that yesterday the national...
Did you say crappy, Max?
Yeah, I said crappy because
crappy.
It made us a little bit sad because yesterday Parliament Malaysia, they actually passed, or the MPs actually passed this very interesting legislative bill called National Security Bill, where it was passed through after a lengthy 7-hour debate last night. It was passed close to the midnight.
That's right. It was only just introduced to Parliament a couple of days before the sitting, and in defense, the government said we're introducing this bill because it's anti-terrorism. And we've got ISIS and this and that, and there's all kinds of attacks happening around the world. So there's kind of like some kind of argument for it. But equally, the detractors to the National Security Council bill says this is just basically another way of repressing the citizenry, because we've seen a whole litany of human rights violations, civil liberties violations, opposition being clamped down on, and this is just another methodology to see that through.
Now the point here, Chuang, is that a lot of publics weren't really aware about this, and at the same time, don't we have enough legislative for it to actually counter all these terrorism activities? I mean, come on, we have all these national harmony bills, and we have all these penal codes and whatever codes that we have so far, and why do we need to have this bill?
We need this like we need a hole in the head. That's what we need. But
remind me of Sugar Babes, the song.
But okay, so basically, in summary, this allows the establishment of security areas willy-nilly by the enforcers. It allows restraints on police powers to be lifted at any point in time if that area is a designated security area. So, for example, if they feel that Bangsa was under threat, they might just say the whole of Bangsa is now a security area. Police or other enforcers that come into the area would basically have they would be at liberty to do whatever they wanted in terms of ensuring order is maintained. Now, there's a lot of leeway to abuse that privilege, and I think that is what the opposition is all about.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how that pans out. Hopefully there will be some transparency in implementing the bill. Moving on to something that made us very happy today. Now, Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, has pledged to offer 99% of their shares in Facebook to selected causes to the Chan Zuckerberg initiative. This was follows after both of the married couple, Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan, gave birth to her daughter, Maxima Chan Zuckerberg.
Maxima Chan Zuckerberg. So yeah, look, I mean, anytime a billionaire says he wants to give his money away to charity, I get a bit cynical, just like many other billionaires around the world that says, I want to give my money. He's only what, 35 years old, 34 years old? 36. Or is it 26 years old? He's half my age anyway, right? He's got more
31.
money. He's got more money than God, right? Pardon the expression. And he wants to give away 99% of his fortune. So a lot of his detractors say he's doing it in this structure because it allows him to have a bigger voice in government and to dictate policy at the highest levels of authority. Now, that seems to me to hold more water than to basically give back to the world.
But isn't this for philanthropy and good causes? Chuang, come on, you put monies for donations like Melinda Gates, Bill and Melinda Gates. You know, they offer monies for grants for studies, to fund for studies in Africa, for example, polios, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically set this up in a not as a traditional tax-exempt foundation, which is what everybody else does. He did it via a charitable venture, which is basically allows him to intervene in any political campaign on behalf of or in opposition to any candidate for elective public office. So this allows him to have a huge say in government, in US policy making, which makes him very, very, very powerful indeed. A little bit like the National Security Council bill, which I saw in Malaysia.
Yeah, anyway, moving on to the next thing that makes us happy today. The last part is Felda Global Ventures Holdings Berhad. Anyway, this company, right, they announced earlier this week that they are going to so-called abort the buying of the 37...
No, they're not going to abort. They're just going to defer it later on. They're going to, you see that can on the road? They just kick the can down the road so that when they get to that point at some point in the future, then they'll pick up and have a look at it again. In other words, they're not going to scupper it, they've just deferred the purchase. Because the market is weak, the dollar is so high against the ringgit, and therefore it doesn't make sense for them and to put their shareholders through this pain, so they just defer the whole purchase.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if they come back to it in the future.
Well, you know, this purchase, it was originally about 745 million US dollars, which is 3.14 billion ringgit.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, and a lot of money is actually being put to things that we have yet to derive synergies. I mean, Felda has been acquiring companies since their listing in 2012, and we have yet to receive or see any synergy behind it.
How much did they come out at? They came at about $4.50 IPO.
Correct,
about, 2012. Yeah. They were the world's second. They were one of the world's biggest IPOs in 2012 when they came out. I think second only to Facebook when it came out, right? Facebook has gone from what was it at the point? 35, 36 bucks to now about 70 bucks. Well, Felda Global has gone from about $4.50
to 1 ringgit
to 160, 170 now. So it's a third of the price of the valuation it was then. Shareholders have clearly not liked what they've done, and Eagle High was not at all on the favorite list.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, critics are actually a bit more happy because actually, at least these deals which have been going through fully scrutinizing, it is not taken off, or it was being tweaked so that not much of the money would be wasted, so-called wasted. I wouldn't say wasted, yeah, absolutely, on this one. Anyway, ending on that note, that's all for us, folks. I'm Sulhi Azman, joined together with me, Khoo Chuang. For more information, go to our website at www.theedgemarkets.com or pick up the copy of The Edge Financial Daily. And if you want more, get a copy of The Edge Weekly, which should be out tomorrow. Good night and good luck, and have a good weekend, guys.